Hello. We're going to try another video here. Wow, this is wild. Hard to know how this is going to turn out. Hey, we're going to do a little talk about Bethlehem, Ephrathah. Well, of course, all scripture is taken from the Son of Man Bible. You know where you can get that, biblesport.com, wordmodules.com. It's available for Android, PC, Apple devices. Okay. I happened to catch a TV program the other night while relaxing before bedtime. It was one of the Discovery Channel's Exploration Unknown episodes. That guy was looking for the actual birthplace of Yeshua HaMashiach. He checked out the Bethlehem south of Jerusalem, which, by the way, would have been in the land of Judah-Benjamin in Yeshua's day. But then he found some so-called scholar or researcher who tried to convince him that Yeshua was born in the Bethlehem up north in the Galilee. We'll discuss that Bethlehem briefly later on in the post. First, let's look at the prophecy of Messiah's birth in Micah 5:2 and 3. But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, even though you are small among the 1,000 resident cities of Judah, out of you one will come to me to rule in Israel, whose beginning is from ancient times, from everlasting. Therefore the Almighty will give them up, until the time when she who is in labor bears a child, and the rest of his brothers return to the people of Israel. This prophecy was made by Micah about 600 years before Yeshua's birth in 6 BC. Notice he didn't just say Bethlehem, but Bethlehem Ephrathah. Did you know that was a family name from the family line of Judah? Whoops, let's go back, take a peek at 1 Chronicles 4:1 and 4. Judah's descendants were Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. These were descendants of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah, father of Bethlehem. How about that? According to that verse, it's very possible that both Ephrathah and Bethlehem were each male descendants of Judah, son of Israel. This is where the city of Bethlehem, Ephrathah, got its name originally. It is the city of Bethlehem in Judah-Benjamin, south of Jerusalem. And I've got that somewhere on a map. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. You can see it's this one here, if you can see my cursor. It's this Bethlehem. That one hasn't moved, hasn't changed. It's probably been in existence for many years. The other one we're going to find out is up here very close, probably to this Nazareth. I don't know if that was the Nazareth from Yeshua's day, but there's people there today also. This is the area where Rachel was buried. It says in Genesis 35:19-20, Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrathah, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a pillar upon her grave. It's the marker of Rachel's grave to this day. Then over in Genesis 48:7, but as for me, when I came from Padan to my sorrow, Rachel died in the land of Canaan on the way, while there was still some distance to go to Ephrathah. I buried her there on the way to Ephrathah, that is Bethlehem. So it's been that city for a long time. It was in that family line. Now, believe it or not, there's another Bethlehem mentioned in scriptures and is located up north in the land of Zebulun in the Galilee, just west of the Sea of Galilee. And if I can drag this thing down, you can see it over here. It's the land of Zebulun. Over here's the Sea of Galilee, and this is the land of Zebulun, and there's a Bethlehem stuck in there that belonged to Zebulun. Joshua 19:15-16 says, this region included the cities of Katath, Nahalal, Shimron, Elah, and Bethlehem. There were 12 cities, including their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Zebulun that was given to their clans, the cities, including their villages. Notice this town was not called by the name Ephrathah, so there's two different villages with the name Bethlehem. So why didn't Joseph and Miriam just go to Bethlehem in the land of Zebulun instead of traveling all the way to Bethlehem Ephrathah in the land of Judah for their census enrollment in 6 BC? Well, because Joseph was in the family line of Judah, as was Miriam. In Luke 2:1-6, you see in those days, around 6 BC, it came about that Caesar Augustus sent out a decree ordering that a census be taken of all the people living in the world. This was the first census made while Quirinius was the imperial representative in Syria. He was basically at that point in time just a tax collector or a representative of the Caesar. So everyone went to his hometown to be registered in the census. Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the city of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and family line of David. He went there to register along with Miriam, his wife, who was pregnant. Now it came about that while they were there, the time came for her to deliver her baby. Now, it doesn't tell us how much time is passing here. But I'm going to give you a bit of my opinion of the scenario of the time here in a second. Now, if you read Yeshua's genealogies in Matthew 1 and Luke 3, you see that both his mother Miriam, whose lineage is revealed in Matthew 1, and his father Joseph, whose lineage is revealed in Luke 3, are from the line of Judah through David. They both are. They're both from the tribe of Judah. That is why they went to Bethlehem, Ephrathah in Judah for the census. David's family was from Bethlehem, Ephrathah. We can check that out in 1 Samuel 16:18. We can take a peek at that if you want. 1 Samuel 16:18. Let's see if we can find that. Then one of the young men answered and said, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, who is skillful in playing, a strong, courageous man, a man of war, one prudent in speech, a handsome man, and Yahuwah is with him. Notice he called him Jesse the Bethlehemite, not Jesse from Bethlehem. That's a family name. He was a Bethlehemite. He was a descendant of a guy by the name of Bethlehem. And we can take a look at 1 Samuel 17:58. It says pretty much the same thing. Over here, 58, where is it? Saul said to him, whose son are you, young man? David answered, I am the son of your servant Jesse the Bethlehemite. Isn't that interesting? It's a family name. So the lesson to learn is don't just swallow all the information you see and hear on secular TV, even though it seems convincing or true. Much of what you see on TV or on the internet is nothing but lies and misinformation or disinformation. So do your own research. Yeshua was either born in the spring around Passover while ewes were lambing in the fields with shepherds overseeing them, or in the summer at the second lambing season. Again, shepherds would have been in the fields during the summer also. The Romans knew when the Judean harvest took place, they would not interrupt the harvest to take a census, meaning between Abib, probably Nisan 1 to Sivan, then to Sivan, around Pentecost. That would be both the barley and the wheat harvest. The grain harvest happened in the spring. The census could have occurred in the winter before harvest, or during the summer between the spring grain and the fall fruit harvest. Probably not in the winter, though. Israelites would not have wanted to travel in the winter, and the roads had been all muddy and it's cold and rainy and all that stuff over there. They probably didn't want to do it then either. So the best time for Quirinius's first census probably took place in the summer of 6 BC. And get this now. Joseph and Miriam were in Jerusalem for Passover, and it's very possible they stayed in Jerusalem for Shavuot 50 days later. So they probably just stayed in Jerusalem so they could easily travel to Bethlehem, Ephrathah for the census that summer of 6 BC. So she might have only been 6 or 7 months pregnant when she did all the heavy traveling from Galilee. Let's take a look at that other, if I can find that other map again. Let's bring that over here. You can see if they had come down for Passover, it's very possible they stayed in Jerusalem or Bethlehem, either one, during Passover and Shavuot. They may have been there for 2-3 months before the census took place. It's very possible. That's just a possibility. That's my humble opinion. Okay. Oh, well, we already said all that. So don't let TV personalities fool you with a bunch of fancy camera work and video editing and lots of letters after their names. Now, you can ask for my YESHUA'S genealogy spreadsheet if you're interested in that. I show both Miriam's line and Joseph's line on a spreadsheet with a couple of little explanation notes. The text for all my videos appear later on my blog at http://ourdailydrink.wordpress.com. All my texts appear there. What would you call that? Transcript, if you want. So you can check that out anytime you want. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. A lot of people are celebrating holidays this weekend. We did, of course, Passover. I think Marner already mentioned that. We did Passover, a couple weeks ago. And now we're counting our way down to Shavuot, Pentecost, coming up May 26th, Sunday, May 26th. We'll be celebrating that. So y'all enjoy the weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.